everybody. Get some views. Ain't been on in a hot minute, but we're gonna do some outlining on a canvas that I'm making for the wedding. Yeah, share this out. I've had a very good weekend. Good morning, Arlena. I've had a very good, relaxing weekend. Slept a lot and just spent time with James Lee. I'm just only gonna post it in our group. No sense in posting it anywhere else unless you all want to. Oh, to take something out to the cast just a minute ago. Thea reached up and put her claw right into the middle of my freaking soft spot in my skin right here. Oh my gosh, that stings. Ugh. But today we're going to be outlining my canvas. If y'all hadn't seen it on the Facebook group that I did, that I sketched out. So I'm just taking some regular black paint, and we're going to be doing the outlining of all the pencil marks. I don't have one of those roly eraser things, that way I can erase it, but it's okay. It will be okay. I need to find something to put some paint in, because I'm not going to be, that's not it. I'm going to use one of these caps here. I'm not going to be using a lot at once, so pour it out. Oh man, it's so gunky. Oh, I need new paint. I was coming to Georgia this weekend, but they won't allow us to travel. Oh, that sucks. Hi, Karen. Hey, KK. Apparently, I found these in my stash. Apparently, I bought these a little while back. These are going to be good because I need these small tips for these. I'm going to cut the packaging open. I needed a really, really small tip to do some of this outlining. Let's see. What would be best? Ah, wow. Let's see. Let's start out with the tiny one. Put these back in, Heather. I got these. I think I got these at Walmart. Not exactly sure. Put that right there. That way I don't lose it. I can keep the tip. Oh, clean that tip. There's crud on it. Where they. Yeah. Clean that tip. That way it's not so bad. Wow. Wait, wherever this came from. Ugh. And my wipes are not. Ugh. However, I do have some water and a little piece of a paper towel. Clean. I know I haven't been on in a while. I've been kind of scarce. Kind of scarce, just kind of laying low for a little bit. after the auction stuff, everything got shipped out. Everybody should have received their packages already. I hope everybody is enjoying them. Whatever that stuff is, it's goofy. So yeah, our theme is Beauty and the Beast and Eris. So I thought this would be a really good and cute little way and just catching up with everybody. I hadn't been on in a hot minute. I don't want to think that I have forgotten about you guys. I have not. Just been trying to take it easy and keep my mind on things that need to be. Alright, so this is going to be like a stained glass effect, and I'm going to just basically draw on the pencil marks that I've made here and just chitter chat with you guys while I. So how was everybody's weekend? I hope everybody's weekend was wonderful. And I'm not even sure how big this canvas is. This is a basically was going to be a trash to treasure canvas. It's going to be a very, very large canvas. But you know what? I am turning it into a trash to treasure because it'll be my treasure and something that I'll get to keep forever and ever and ever. And got bit by some kind of spider on back of my teeth. It's horrible. On 2 antibiotics. First antibiotic made me sick. Oh my gosh, Karen, are you sure it wasn't a recluse? Because they can make you really sick. Gotta turn this because I really don't want my arm to go through that paint. I mean, it's not gonna be. This ain't gonna be perfect. But I told James Lee I was gonna start painting it today. Oh wow, were you outside or were you inside? Sitting in the grass? Where were you? Oh no no no! Oh God! Thank the heavens above that that rolled and landed on my thing that I have sitting on my desk. Oh, I'm a clumsy duck. But even if I'd done that, I'd fix it because that background had been covered, and this is going to be probably black, gold, red, maybe. I don't know. Hopefully, it didn't happen on the 4th. Make you sick like that. We've had some really creepy spiders around, but you know what? I ain't bothering them around my house. If you don't bother me, I don't bother you. So, and I'm scared to death of spiders, and I'm actually letting them co-inhabit this house. I don't, I don't mind. It keeps the flying objects out of the way there. You know what? I'm gonna take off my bracelet because I don't want black scuffs on the canvas. You know, I've only taken this thing off a few times since I've gotten it. And this thing is worn out. I'd love to have another one just like this. This is leather. I love to have this. I love the little rhinestones and flowers. And if y'all have ever watched any of my videos, you'll see this bracelet. It's a very iconic. So if I forget to put that on, it feels like I'm naked. I even shower with it. And here recently, I've been wearing another one that James Lee got for me. It's purple and black, and has a little bit of white in it. And it's metal. These are like little studs. I like that. It's my color. But I wear it on my other arm. So what have you guys been working on? Anything interesting? I've not started on James Lee's quilt yet. So I technically will not have it done by the time his birthday rolls around, which is saddened, but things happen. And this right here was actually, I got the image off of Pinterest, if y'all are wondering. I got it off of Pinterest. It's not my design, so I just kind of sat down and enlarged it by eye. I mean, it's not perfect, but a rose is never perfect. Each rose is made differently, right? Just like everybody else. Everybody and everything is made differently. So don't ever think yourself perfect because everybody is made differently. I would like to have one of these done. Just remember I can't do it in a hurry. It's not something I can do in a very big hurry. I don't have any canvases. This I think I've got one more big canvas, and my heat tool kind of took a squat on me. Oh wow, I'm not even catching the darn chat. I'm not. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, that's Carol. University. Oh wow. She has not turned Nightbot off. I've just seen that. I need to contact her and let her know that she's turned the auction Nightbot off. Oh, Arlena's been playing with foil and clay. And she's been playing with flowers. Hair and hair. Oh wow. But anyway, I don't have any more canvases except for one because my heat tool took a squat on me. And I really like that. It was the Doris heat tool, the blue one. You don't see me use quite often. Yeah, that one took a squat on me when I was covering this with gesso and white paint, cover up the image that was on here before. So now I can't really do anything. I have to wait. I mean, I can use a hair dryer, but I need the heat. I need it right away. I've got some other things I'm going to be doing that involves the heat gun, and it sucks because now I can't get it right now. Everything is going into the wedding fund, and I can't afford it right now. This is a large canvas. Hmm. And I don't know how big this thing is. That makes me curious. Let's see. It's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, almost 20 inches long. Holy crap. That's a big canvas. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Wow, 20 by 16. Jeez. Yeah, but I only had mine less than 2 years though, but I use mine on a daily. I need a good one that won't burn out on me because it got really, 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 I mean, burned up in my hands hot. And then it kicked down. You know how, when heat guns are about to go out, they kick down and then they shut off and they don't come back on. Yeah, that's what happened to me. a lot of the times when I was using it, it would heat up my hand. It would burn my hand, and I'd have to turn it off and stop using it for a little bit so it would cool down. But then when I turned it back on, it would just get just hot. I knew it was about to. I knew it was about to go, but I was trying to get the last little bit of life it had out of it, because I've had several heat guns. Well, two of them other people sent to me, and then the other one, the little blue and white one I got, Ray had purchased for me, and that one didn't last very long. It was a cheap one. Oh, I'm down without now. Yeah, I did use it on a daily basis. I'm gonna miss the thing. It was a nice one. Ainsley got it for me for a birthday present, I believe. Now you can see the rose coming to life, guys. And like I said, this is all hand drawn just from looking at a picture. Eyeballing. I'm really good at eyeballing stuff. If I get done with the outlining, I can try and start on some of the shading and greens for the rose petals, or not the greens, but the reds for the rose petals. Dad, blast it, man. Ugh, really? Ugh. How many times am I going to do that and almost mess my painting up? I don't know. Where'd everybody go? Let me see one in here. I think it's just me. Where's YouTube not counting right? Ow. Yeah, this was just an impromptu live because I needed to chitter chat and catch up with everybody. And I'm actually excited about this. So if you just want to sit and relax and watch me outline, you're more than welcome to do so. You can talk to me. I don't bite. Arlena's here. Yes, it only shows one person in here, but that's okay. That is okay. If you'll go, if you really want to see what this picture is, you can go to Pinterest and you can search Beauty and the Beast, and you'll see this rose. This is not my idea. It's not my image. I did not think of this, but I did like it. And I did enlarge it to a very, very large canvas. Are you fixing your lunch for work? Aw. Where do you work again, Arlena? You don't mind me asking? Oh yeah, that's right. You work in a library. It's too much on the Yeah, you need some really tiny brushes to do this, and I don't have a fine liner uh, paintbrush, and so this will have to do. And it's actually doing very, very well. I'd love to work in a library because I'd be around all kinds of books, and I'd be able to sit down and read or catalog and all that goodness. I really like to do stuff like that. I guess it's the ADHD in me concentrating on something, hyper concentration is what they call it. I've still got some white spots where the gesso and the paint cracked, but I think that adds to the beauty of that though. Book pages I'm going to send out in different languages. Ooh. I had to learn not to read titles. I got in more trouble for that. Oh my goodness. Why? It's weird. Oh, for like if you're like for the people who are checking out things, just go see the barcode or guess and just scan it, not read what they're checking out. Yeah, that would be interesting. You could see, uh, I could just see myself blushing at some of the things people check out. Oh, every title you wanted to take home and read it. Oh, I see what you're saying. I didn't get all my pencil marks erased, but paint will cover the other pencil marks that I had on here. But I did draw it kind of lightly that I needed to see where my pencil marks were so I could do the outline. I don't know which way it turns. My desk is only so big. I guess I'll just leave it like that. Kind of connecting. Uh, Y'all ever breathe really lightly whenever you're doing something like this when you don't want it to mess up? Breathe really lightly or even hold your breath. You really don't want that messed up. You gotta have a steady, steady, steady hand. So welcome to anyone and everyone who is watching today. I'm just doing a impromptu live to catch up with everyone. Just let everybody know I'm still alive. And I've just been relaxing at home, not doing much of anything, not crafting. I've just been doing a lot of wedding shopping, you know, window wedding shopping. There's a lot of things that I need and want, but as of right now, we don't have a venue at the moment. We're still working on that. The two churches we have in mind, we haven't got a definite answer from. And so I'm working on finding something local out here that's around us. But the church that I did find, which is around the corner, a very nice Baptist church, is temporarily closed. And so there would be no way for me to get a hold of them if they are not open. And what's nice about this place is it's got plenty of parking and it's close. It's just around the corner. So I'd be able to walk down there and visit the church and talk to people. I really, really wish it would open. I know that due to this COVID stuff, a lot of churches are closing back down. But, all right, there's the rose. Look how pretty that is, guys. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Really like it. I don't know if I should bring that all the way around underneath that petal. What do you think, Arlena? Do you think I should bring that line all the way around here? That way it looks even? Or anybody's suggestion? Yeah. Only thing is that he wants a actual wedding, not an online thing where people can view. We like social. Come on, fly, she fly. Don't bother me. I like social interaction. Face to face where family can come and enjoy themselves and dance and have fun. Oh, okay. Now to go in with the lettering. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. All right. Let's see. How am I doing this? Let's move this over here. Move it to the side. It's such a large canvas. It's like you can't get comfy. I want to put my arm in fresh paint. This is how I normally do it when I paint a sign. I outline it, and then I go in and do the larger painting. Like a bit of already. That's okay. It's just first move. Oh, I've got their number. I think I've got them pinned on my Google Maps in my favorites. That way I can actually go in and see about calling them maybe because the two churches that we have been calling and talking to the preachers about, they're all the way in Luthersville and in Alpine, Georgia. And the one in Luthersville, the preacher has mentioned it to the congregation and deacons, and a lot of them are elderly people, and they're not liking the idea of an outside wedding, person that doesn't go to the church. And I convinced James Lee to try and find something local. I mean, this wedding's not until next year, and I'm just getting all my ducks in a row. That way, I have something to work on. You have to have a base. You have to have a venue. That way, you know how big the space is, how many people you can or cannot invite, the sound, the lighting, the music, all that, all the decorations, because this is going to be something a little different. I don't know if anybody's ever done the Beauty and the Beast Parish Christmas theme. Very three different themes all wrapped into one. And this will be out in the reception hall. As you come into the reception, this will be sitting out there along with our "We Wish You Were Here" "Wish You Were Here" things, pictures and things for the relatives that are long gone. We're trying to reach out to some people that would be able to help us. And I mean, it's going, but it's not going well. Yeah, we've got a lot of our people on Facebook. Mary is taking care of our invitations, and I will be sending once she. I've actually sent a video of the invitations that I want, and they are Beauty and the Beast invitations. And she said that she would be able to hopefully do it with her Cricut, but it's very very shiny. But as I was saying, I'm gonna send a bunch of the invitations to my mother. That way, she can take care of the family in Tennessee. But here in about let's see, what is it? July, August, September, October, December. In about 5 months, I'm going to be posting the save the date post on Facebook. That way, everybody can save the date because, as I said, all of you are invited. I just need to know if you're going to be coming or not. Way I can get a positive head count. I just hope it just does. This is basically for him. He wants what he wants, and he's very, very picky. He's we have a groomzilla instead of a bridezilla. I'm just more open to the part where I get to plan the thing. I don't care. I mean, I do care, but he wants it the way he wants it. I've already had my dream wedding. I've already had one, and this is for him. I just want it perfect for him, the way he envisions it. Raven's hair. Yep. I'm not sure if I want to do this stained glass on the inside of the letters or not. I'm not sure. Not sure. Sorry if you can't see that, what I'm working on. Your state right now is one that is banned for traveling. Yeah. Yeah. Means we can't go anywhere. Sounds like I picked the wrong state to live in, I guess. I don't know. But if I hadn't picked Georgia or if I hadn't been forced to live in Georgia, I would not have met anything. Yeah, I'm hoping. Faith is amazing. It is amazing. And I'm just keeping my faith in him. Only thing I can do, and I did get paint right there, but that's a spot that's gonna get covered up. It's gonna be in blue, in colors of blue on the blues and maybe purples, and then the main focus will be the rose, which will be in shades of red. You know, cursive is really hard to paint. And block letters are fine. Cursive is really tough. You're gonna get the arches and everything just right and the connection. I would bring the camera up a little bit, but it's up kind of far. Right. Yeah. That's what bites around. That's what bites right now. Nobody can see go in and see babies. And one of my the one that I'm making the baby journal or baby album for, she is being induced today. She's having her baby today. She's early. Bennett is early, and so I have not gotten to finish his album. And so I've got to get with Marina so I can finish it. She's the one helping me with that. Oh, so that paint was dry. I was super excited to work on this the other day when it woke me up out of a sleep and told me I'm conscious told me that I needed to do this. And so guess what? I got up, started on my started on gessoing this canvas because it was a really bad one. James brought this one. And so I covered it up and covered all the raw paint on it. And drew it out. I went searching. I have a pen on my Pinterest and I went into that pen because I knew this is what I was going to do with it. Just didn't know which picture I was going to use. I've actually got a couple of pens. I'm wanting to do the scene where Belle and Bee start dancing in front of the castle, but I don't know how hard that's going to be to transfer to a larger canvas because I've got one more larger canvas, actually two more, but I don't know if that is going to be possible. I'll have to work on that one and see how well it'll work. But if someone can do that, oh, be your best friend on that. I'm kind of nervous to do the background, to be honest. I don't know how I want it. In the picture that I seen that I have for this, it's very out there. It's very um, a lot of lines to follow. But stained glass is not about perfection. How you want it. So maybe I'll draw the lines in. You know, I've got to thank my mom for a lot of my skills that I have. But I also took up to art when I was in high school. I loved it. I loved painting. I mean, I didn't get into the advanced classes. I didn't have the time to do it because I was taking other credits for my four classes in college. I was studying to be a journalist. My cousin, growing up, was a journalist. He just inspired me to want to do something like that. And so I was actually studying to be a photojournalist because I love taking pictures. I took a photography class, and that's where I really, really started to enjoy taking pictures. But I also love to write, so that's where my love of art really blossomed, was taking pictures and enjoying the beauty of its surroundings. To open your eyes. I had this thing really like taking pictures of graveyards for some reason because it was just fascinating to see how many tombstones and the dates, how far the dates went. I have seen one all the way back to 1918, and it was just wow. It was just amazing to see that. how am I going to do this? It has to be contrast letters. Yeah, I have this fascination with gravestones and markers, how old they are. Where I worked at the time, there was a graveyard up the hill from it, and that's where I would actually go and take my pictures at. And I got to develop the film because we started in black and white. We got to develop our pictures, our rolls of film. Let me tell you, that's a stinky process too. But anyway, we got to develop our own film. It was really cool to see the pictures come to life of the things that you took pictures of, and it's amazing. So if you've never developed your own film, I would suggest because it's thrilling to see your pictures come alive on your photo paper. Really cool. Get down to the hour. Like I said, I don't need much paint. Here's one that's much. I have a photographer coming, taking our wedding pictures and our engagement pictures, but he's not going to be down here for another couple months. Okay. It's just way too hot for him to travel. I just got a donkey part on that. So he's going to be taking our pictures for it, and I'm excited. I need to get a proper book. I've just got a black notebook that I'm writing everything down. I've got to get a proper wedding planning book. Like when I get an idea, I jot it down, and that's where it stays. I just flip through it, and it's on notebook paper. Get me one. I found one that I really, really wanted. So expensive, like $30. Like, no, I can't do that. I could so use that money elsewhere for the wedding. The only thing that a lot of the wedding books that I see, they say you gotta have a budget. Well, our budget is what I can get at the time. I mean, it's not a set budget. Right now, we've spent $300 on just the little stuff, some of the little stuff. The money's gone right now, so I've got to have another sale or a flash sale with you guys. So I'll be watching for that. It might be just a pop-up sale. You never know. So y'all gotta be watching for those just in case I do happen to have one. Oh, you were talking to me and forgot you couldn't hear me. Oh my goodness. Film is really hard to find. Yeah, film is really hard to find. You gotta order it basically. I sound so monotone, guys. We've been hanging out outside a lot, helping a fella fix up a house. I'm hoping to have some pictures taken. This house is the very first house in Loganville. To be tell the truth, it's the very first house that they built, and he lives in it. And we've been getting to hang around his house, help him do some things in his house. And I've mentioned it to him about taking pictures there, but he said that it's got to be fixed up. It's very Victorian style house, very high ceilings and large, very open rooms. You can hear your echo in these rooms. I mean, they're not large, but they're that really like octagonal shape in his house. Very pretty. It needs a lot of work. A lot of work. Most of them are pretty pretty. Pretty Victorian, large wraparound porch, but half of the porch is falling down, and the owner that owns the house wants him to tear it down and put it a handicap ramp in. But the sad thing is the guy that lives there is the house that's renting and leasing, not handicapped. I'm thinking once his lease is up, the owner's gonna make him leave so his family can move. I don't know. There's a gun part. Paint. A lot of people would have already just put vinyl down and said screw it. Me, I'm more of the traditional. I want it. I want it painted. Because this is what I started out doing was jewelry and hand painted signs. Y'all want a sign made? Let me know. Do my best to make it. Just contact me. Ooh, what else can I say? Hello for the people who have come in and are silently watching. This is a canvas that I am painting for my wedding. So if you just come in, welcome. We're just doing some outlining, maybe do a little bit of painting once the outlining is done. Don't know. This has all been hand drawn. None of it is a stencil. This is a very large canvas. What was it, a 16 by 20? I am, but I, my wire, I used a lot of my wire in something else in a project in the house, and so I don't have much wire left. So my jewelry is kind of on hold right now. You know, my 16 or my 20 2 gauge wire I don't have any more of, and so I can't really make any of my jewelry that I want to make. And my findings, my end piece, my clasp and stuff, I don't have any more of those, and so I'm kind of low on my jewelry making stuff. I wish I could get what I used to have. I used to have probably $2,000-3,000 worth of jewelry stuff, and I lost it in my last marriage. I had a lot of stuff. I really did. That's where I started making jewelry. And inventory, I had probably $3,000-4,000 worth of inventory already made, and it's sitting somewhere just going to waste. It pains me to know that. My very first craft fair that I did was a little street thing, and I was oh gosh, I was pregnant, very pregnant with my daughter, Mia. And what's funny with that is whenever I went into labor the night I had gotten done with the street fair. And my stuff was still sitting in my car, loaded. Loaded with all my jewelry and table and everything. I went to after the fair. I went to stay with went to a friend's house, and my husband at the time was still going to school for classes for his current job, hotel management, and we had stopped to get something to eat, and he dropped me off there because he knew that I was really close to the hospital. If anything had happened, I would be able to get there, and I would be able to be took care of. Well, he wasn't gone 15 minutes, and my body said, "Hey, all right, surprise, you're going to go into labor." And so my friends put me in their car and raced me to the hospital, speeding nonetheless, with their flashers on. And by the time I had gotten to the hospital, as far as I can remember, I don't remember a lot of it because I was delirious. The contractions were so bad that my clothes were soaked to the bone with sweat, where the contractions were so hard and so fast and close together. Apparently, it wasn't time for me to give birth. I was very early, very, very early. And the doctors tried to stop it as long as they could. As long as they could. And they stopped it for about a week. I was in the hospital with preeclampsia and toxemia. I was not a very well woman. I was not very well at all. And I stayed there for about a week until my OB doctor, came in and said, "Oh, well, let's check you out and see if you're all right. If we can get you home." Well, he had the nurse in there. Well, actually, no. Before that, I was having trouble sleeping, so the doctor would give me sleeping medicine so I would be able to sleep with her baby. And so for 2 nights, they gave me sleeping medicine so I could sleep because contractions were still coming, but they weren't very rapid. They still had the monitor on and everything. And so the third night, I asked for some medicine so I could go to sleep. And the nurse said, "No, you're fine. There's nothing wrong with you. You can go to sleep." I told the nurse, I said, "There is something not right. It's not right at all." I did not sleep at all that night. I was having contractions. The nurses were in there, in and out, checking my blood pressure and making sure that everything was okay. Well, I knew in my heart, I knew it, that everything was not okay. Not okay at all. And here comes where I was leading to. My OB doctor was also the on-call doctor at the time, Dr. Harris. Surprised I remember his name. It took me a while to remember. And he got down, he said, "Hey, let's check you out. Let's see if we can get you to go home, get you ready to go home." Well, he was checking me out, the dilation and everything. Well, come to find out, He looks at the nurse very, very quietly and he says, I need to transfer immediately to UT Medical Center where I gave birth to my daughter. And my eyes go wide, wide, wide as saucers. And me and my husband at the time both looked at each other and said, what? I mean, it was like, what are you talking about? What's going on? Something's not right here. Well, the doctor said that I had dilated to 8 centimeters and something was wrong. He would not tell me exactly what was wrong. They just hurriedly got the transfer to UT Medical Center. And they had a needle in my back. And so by then, I had felt every single bump and jar of the ambulance all the way to the hospital. Because then at the time they were doing road work on the interstate. And they were speeding with the lights on to get me to the hospital because apparently my little bundle of joy wanted to arrive very, very too soon. And so I felt every bump and jar of the ambulance all the way to the hospital. And when I got to the hospital, they quickly got me out of the ambulance and into the area where they put us pregnant people. And so I had to go pee something fierce. And I guess that's part of it. Feels like you have to go pee a lot. And I got in trouble for getting up to go pee and unhooking the machines and everything. Well, after that, they hooked me to the monitor to where we could monitor the baby's heartbeat. Well, after that, I had a panic attack because when they hooked me to the machine, they couldn't hear or see the heartbeat of Mia, my daughter, at the time. And I had a very, very bad panic attack. And when I have panic attacks, I tend to not breathe. I hold my breath. That way people don't see me cry. I had about 4 or 5 people in that room. And I didn't want them to see me cry. You know, pregnant people are very, very emotional people. And I did not want to see them. I didn't want them to see me cry. And so my mother and the doctors and my husband at the time were begging me. I mean, well, no, Scott wasn't there. No, my mother and my family were begging me to breathe. That way I could get oxygen to my daughter. And when I finally did, I mean, I calmed down, but they brought in another machine to do the ultrasound / heartbeat monitor thing. And when they finally, after about 20-30 minutes, they finally found the heartbeat. And I could have wrung their ever-loving necks because it worried me to death. Worried me to death. And so after that, they got me settled in a room. They got my epidural going because after that episode, the contractions, they slowed down, but the pain was still there. I don't understand why, but I guess that goes with the flow. But anyway, they got me all settled and in the room, got my drip done. They put me on a morphine drip, and every 15 minutes, I could press that little buzzer or that little button because of the pain was so fierce and hard. They had to put me on a button, and you could tell whenever I would press that button because when I did, you could hear me just go, oh, and I could just feel the pain just ease out, but it would soon come back. The contractions would make me just it hurt even more. They say epidurals will make the pain go away. Nope. Nope, you still feel them suckers. They're just kind of muted. They are muted. But back to the story. They got me on the drip, 15-minute drip button thing. And my best friend Lisa had come in. Lord bless her. She had never seen me in such bad shape. I was hurting so bad. She was just up there wiping my forehead and making sure I was okay. And they don't allow you to eat. And so they were giving me popsicles. Well, they had put me on a saline, phosphate saline or something or other, potassium drip or something or that like that. And they had done it before, and I didn't realize that this stuff will make you sick. It will make you sick to your stomach. Oh my God, it will make you sick. I begged them the very last time they did that to not put me on that trip, but they did anyway. And so I had been eating grape popsicle when the nausea hit. And they say that's a very, very big sign that you're about to go into complete labor when you get sick. That stuff. And I felt so sick I could not get up to vomit. And Lord help her, she picked up the bucket, and she laid that thing underneath my chin, and I let it go. And she's looking at me like, oh my God. But she was a trooper, and she held that thing until I was done, until I got done letting the world see my insides, what was still there. And she let me lay back, and she put a damp towel on my head. And she said, honey, I'm so sorry. And she says, I'm here with you. And I couldn't have had a better best friend to do that. I miss her. She's in Tennessee. Hopefully she'll be able to come. But that's the story of how Mia was born. But there's another kind of story to that as well. She did not want to come out. Mia was very stubborn. She said she wanted. I had been in preterm labor several times with her, and she wanted to come out early. Well, when it was finally time to come out, she decided she didn't want to come out. She wanted to go to sleep. Yeah. And she was also losing oxygen. I was breathing, making sure she got the oxygen she needed, but she was not getting the oxygen she needed. So they ended up having to put me on an oxygen mask, and feed oxygen to me while in the womb, in the belly. And she got so settled that she fell asleep. And every time a contraction would come, she would not move down the birth canal. So what they ended up having to do is they put a metal rod up there on the top of her head. And every time a contraction would hit, it would zap her on the top of the head. Like, say this is her head, and it's placed right here. They'd zap her. And it would wake her up. She would move down the birth canal. But the odd thing about this is I could not give birth on my back. You know how women give birth on their back. The doctor said that there was not enough oxygen getting to them, even with the mask, oxygen mask, and that oxygen going straight in, feeding her oxygen. She was not moving. And it was, I'm not exactly sure how they put it, but I could not give birth naturally. I had to roll. After every push, I had to wait about 10, 15, 20 seconds and then roll to my other side. Oh, I knew that was going to happen one day, or one time. Anyway, I had to roll on my sides. I could not give birth on my back with my legs up in the stirrups. Nope. My legs were bent up to basically my chest and pushing at the same time, rolled onto my side. And that is how I gave birth to my daughter. But here's the thing. There was another complication. My daughter did not want to come out. She was basically like stuck. She was not moving at all when it came down to the very base. The doctor says, Emily, if you don't get her out in the next 2 pushes, we're going to have to do emergency C-section. I did not like the idea of an emergency C-section. Didn't want to be cut. Did not want to be cut at all. Yeah, both of my babies were born early, Arlena. Yeah, they have their own time frame there. They have their own thing going. But anyway, what was I saying? Um, oh, the doctor said if you do not uh, birth her uh, in the next 2 pushes, we're gonna have to do an emergency C-section. So I was bound and determined. I bared down. I pushed. Couldn't get her out that time. Doctor said, okay, we have one more option. They went and got looked like a big old plunger and put it up into my area there and placed it on the top of her head. They removed the electrode on the top of her head and they put the plunger on her head. And so with the last push, I busted both of my eyeballs pushing. I finally birthed my little girl. And I would not trade a single moment of that for the world. I would relive that again day in and day out just to be able to hold her in my arms like that again. Anytime, any day. That was my beautiful girl. That was the story of that. But that doesn't end there. It doesn't end there, guys. We have another story to tell about Miss Mia. When she was born, she had breathing problems. She had fluid in her lungs. And so they had to aspirate her and get the fluid out of her lungs a lot longer than I expected. When I finally got to hold her, it was a miracle. But that doesn't end there. She had yellow skin. Everybody knows what yellow skin is. They are jaundiced and they're not getting the cells, the oxygen and the blood cells that they need, the caplets. And so they had to put a blindfold on her, which was the most heartbreaking thing that please ignore Nightbot. This is not a sale or auction. She just hasn't turned Nightbot off. The most heartbreaking thing to know and see is your child being their eyes covered up, not being able to see their mother for a week. She had to be put under what they call bilirubin lights. Makes it feel like you're in outer space. The purple lights or the blue lights. And she had to sit under this light for a week. And the only time that I could touch her was when I was feeding. I could not breastfeed her because her mouth was too small. She was early. She was a month early. Her mouth was too small to nurse, and so the only time that I could really hold her was whenever I was bottle feeding her. And she wasn't eating as much as she usually or should. And so we had to keep an eye on her to make sure that she was gaining the weight that she needed, because she was 5 pounds and 13 ounces when she was born. She was a month early, and she wanted to come earlier than that, but the doctor stopped it each and every time. They put me on a medicine called terbutaline, which stopped the contractions. And I had to carry that medicine everywhere I went just in case the contractions started again. I know some of them call them Braxton Hicks, but no, whenever I would go to the doctor in preterm labor, the doctors told me that it was preterm labor, not Braxton Hicks or the phantom contractions. No, they were pre-contractions. That happened to me with my son as well. He was 3 weeks early, and he wanted to come early as well. But I can't help the fact me and my twin sister were preemies too. We stayed in the incubators. I don't remember. I think Mom said 2 months. We were tiny. We were tiny babies. I don't. My mother would be able to tell you how old I was. But anyway, as the story goes, we finally got her to ideal weight, and she was able to take the eye covers off, and she was able to see her mama, her daddy, and we had another problem spike up. When we tested her in her car seat, they have this oxygen thing that they put on the baby to test to see if the oxygen is getting to the baby in the car seat. Well, the car seat, the alarm would go off every time when they'd put her in there. So we had to wait. But then, also, they had released me to a regular room. They had released me to a regular room, and they said that I could have anything that I wanted to eat and drink. Well, I chose to have a Coca-Cola. Well, the time before that, before they released me, my blood pressure was through the roof, and they had to give me medicine to stabilize my blood pressure. I had very, very high blood pressure during this. The doctors were worried, so they had put me on blood pressure medicine while I was basically healing from that. And the doctor said that I was stable and was able to eat and drink anything. So there's where the story picks back up. Well, I had my Coca-Cola, and the next thing I know, I'm laying there and I'm burning up. My chest is hurt. And the doctors come swarming in, and they take the blood pressure, and my blood pressure is through the roof again. And so therefore I was readmitted to the hospital. I had been, as I said, I had been, let go, but they let you stay because your child's in the hospital. No, I was readmitted to the hospital due to that. And they put me on the monitors again. It really, really sucked because I really wanted to eat. And so they would not let me eat anymore. They did the intravenous things, that way I would still get fluid and nutrients but not be able to eat. So they kept me there. They kept me and my daughter at the hospital for 10 days. I am not kidding you. That's not including the hospital stay before we went to the other medical center. So my hospital stay was kind of a rough one because I wanted to go home and enjoy my little girl. My time with our little girl. But no, my body said nope, nope, nope. You can't. You're staying here. I want to make sure you're all right. And so back to the oxygen. We finally got her stable enough to where she would be able to ride in the car seat without any problems. Goodness. So we got her home and we were able to enjoy our beautiful, beautiful girl. And come to find out, she is lactose intolerant. She was. Like me, she could not handle regular milk. We didn't know that until after it had been 6 months and she was losing weight and not gaining. So they had to switch her to a soy formula. My son had to do the same exact thing. Boy, let me tell you, soy milk stinks when they barf it back up. Let me tell you that. It stinks to high heavens. And it stains worse than regular milk, too. So that, my dear friends, is the story of how my daughter came to live in this beautiful, crazy world. She is now, she's born in '05, so that makes her what? Let's see. 14, 13, 14 years old. Lord, I've got a teenager. I can't believe it. And then my son, he was born in '07. He was more of a, he was a quick birth, I can tell you that. Dr. Brown, my doctor that was in the delivery room for him, wanted to bring in his students to observe the birthing of my son. He was early too. He was only 3 weeks early. He was at 36 weeks, 36, yeah, or 36, 7 weeks. And I was having a very good pregnancy or birthing with him. I was rushed to the hospital by my ex-father-in-law at the time. We were having a family dinner, and he decided he wanted to poke his little head in the world 3 weeks early. I had went into labor at the family dinner, and everybody thought that it was just preterm labor, that I was faking it. Nope, nope, nope. Come find out, I was actually in labor, because when I went into the birthing center, I was about 6 centimeters dilated. And the contractions were coming. They weren't stopping, even with medicine to stop it. They were coming. And so they put me on a epidural to help with the pain, and I just got pain all over my arm. So they put me on the epidural for that one. I mean, I was used to the pain, so the pain really wasn't a big deal. But they wanted to go ahead and put me on the epidural. So I did the routine where they bent you over a pillow and they stuck the needle in your back. Got that done, got the epidural started, and just waited them out, waited the contractions out until it was actual time for me to start pushing. Well, the nurse said, "Okay, Emily, you can start pushing now." The doctor wasn't even in there. And I pushed 3 times, and the nurse was looking down. They were like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa." The doctor comes in very quickly and asked if it would be okay if his students, his class, could come in and watch the birthing of my son. I was like, heck no. Not so nice words. I'm going to be nice. Heck no. Only people allowed in this room are the people that I specify. And they're like, okay, that's fine, that's fine. And so the doctor leaves. He has enough time to go put his gown, his gloves, his mask on, sit down, and play catch. Basically, my son was the easiest birth that they had seen. I mean, the fastest and the easiest birth that they had seen ever. And what is really cool about this is I was his first baby born in that hospital. So I was his first. So that makes me kind of proud. So that's how my son was born. No complications at all with birth, 3 pushes, and he was in this world very quickly. What y'all think of that? Through that whole time, I got this whole canvas outlined. Be our guest. See, I can't push the whole thing in the frame, but that is all the outline. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that story while I was painting. Just coming in and covering up some of these little things where the paint cracked. Anybody still here listening? Did I put any of yous asleep? If you're still here. On the rose, I'm going to actually make the lines a little bit thicker because there's a lot of color that's going to be going in that, and I want it to be separated, make it look like the stained glass. I'm going to just be using acrylic paint. I've got to go and get some colors, but Hobby Lobby had a sale on the paints that I usually use, and all the colors that I wanted to use were gone, and I was so downhearted because a lot of my paints that I have here, they're very gunky and goopy now. That it got hot in the room, very very hot in my craft room, and a lot of my paints got real gunky, and I've got to restock my paints. I need to clean my brush. It's getting a lot of paint built up. I don't want it to have built up with paint. I need the tips very strong. Okay, where was that? I'm going to be using a variety of reds and pink tones for this. I mean, this is not the most exciting live that anybody's ever watched, but you got to see a outline of what I have hand drawn come to life with just the outline. And plus, I needed to do a live that way. People know I was still alive and kicking. Just preoccupied for a while. I'm going to be doing a ring bound journal, and I think that we have a majority votes that we're going to be doing a fairy one. And so some may be recorded, some may be live. Don't know yet because I went to find paper for it, and guess what? I can't find nary a one. Because I really didn't want to make the papers. Usually I do, but my paint's gooped up. And so I could not find any really pretty fairy ones. You have to do what too? I'm sorry, I missed what I was talking about when you said that. If I'm off camera, I'm sorry. Because I can't get all of it in frame. I'm just going back and touching up the leaf. One of the leaves on the branch. Now, it did have another leaf coming out right here, but I decided to leave that off. I really didn't like the way that looked. So I decided to leave that off because my notebook sketch, it had it on there. It looked real good on the notebook sketch, but when you blow it up like that, I didn't like it. So I didn't put it on there. Thinking about trying to find another picture to paint and draw it out to show you that I can actually sketch something. I'm not sure. What do you all think? No, I don't actually. I thought I did, but I don't. I do not. They were ballerinas. I thought they were fairies, but they were ballerinas. Yeah, I didn't think I when I made that post, I was sitting and I wasn't looking at what I had. Does that look like a rose to you guys? I think it does. I added a few lines from the picture. Give it a little bit because small it looks good, but when you blow it up, it kind of looks empty. I'm probably going to start on it next week sometime if I can manage it. Maybe in a week or two, maybe. Because we've been working a lot out in our yard, so I haven't had much time to sit down and plan. I've just been catching up on some sleep here lately because I've just been really tired. My body's just been very weak here lately, and so I've been trying to catch up on my sleep. Oh, that'd be awesome. If you have several, that would be awesome. I would love that. I would appreciate that a lot. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I can wait. I'm not in a big hurry to start it. I'm still planning the thing out. You know how I am. I'm a planner. All right, shoe fly, go away. Go away. Go, 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 go. Don't land in my paint. That's not where I was painting. All right, now go. I don't want to hurt you. Oh, that would be awesome, Orlena. That would be awesome. It's awesome. I think the deepening of the lines is actually making that rose stand out a little bit more. When I finally put the reds in there, that's gonna look awesome. Because with stained glass, you have that thick black line and then the bold bright colors outside the black line. This is gonna look bad. As in good. Let's see, where can I touch up right there? I'll take a picture of it and I'll post this in the group showing the outlining of it. That way people can see progress. But like I said, if you would like to have one or order one on a smaller level, I'll be glad to do that for you. I was wearing my bracelet. They'd been pink all over. Let's see. On the other leaf on this side. Make it more bold. I think it's turning out really pretty just with the black lines. Getting a little bit too thick. Just trying to straighten that. Go. Much better. That kind of sort of. I'll fix it. Hmm. Looking good, ladies. Looking good. There you go. Got quiet again. This fly's about to get on my last nerve. Go away. Okay. And some places I need to go and touch up down here. Wait for this to be done. All right. I think it looks good. What do you guys think? I'm going to raise it up so y'all can see the full effect of it. Well, I have to. Sorry for my looks. Room's not clean, but still, there's the outline. What do y'all think? Hand done, hand drawn from scratch. Does it look like the rose from the zip at the end of it? I'm about to get off here. It's in 2 hours. I figure I'd show you the outline. I'll probably work on it later when I get more ideas and what colors I want to use. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna put you back down. Covering up a lot of my mess. I want to thank you guys for coming in and joining me today. It was just a real short live I wanted to do today, just to get back in the groove thing. Hopefully, you will join me on my next live. Hopefully, if you enjoyed today, you'll hit that subscribe button and hit that like. Alrighty, guys, if you would like to share your artwork and you'd like to join our happy family, please visit me on Facebook. It's a Facebook group, not a business, but you can also visit it. On Facebook, Creative Jewels by Emily. So come check it out. If you'd like to order anything, if you've seen anything that you'd like to order in previous shows, please let me know and I will try my best to accommodate you. But anyway, guys, I love you all. Thank you for coming, and God bless each and every one of you. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. I will see you guys later. Bye.